Good afternoon from Yummy B TV. Wishing you all well, sending plenty of love your way as usual, and hoping your new year has started off in the best way possible. All the resolutions are going to start. I wish you the best of luck on that one. And of course, spreading much love to you all for 2024. Of course, it's my birthday today. Not really celebrating today because I celebrated it yesterday, if you get what I mean. Now, many of you on the live chat last night were trying to nudge me as usual. I really am sorry that I get so excited. So I'm especially, getting my energy back the last 2 or 3 days with some kind of normality after the month I've had. And it became apparent to me, and sadly, with my heartfelt message today that I'm about to deliver, that Patrick Tate's members of his family were in the live chat last night. Siblings, right? So Wayne, I think I got it at the end, right? So sorry that I didn't get but I understood what you were saying to me, because I realise now that those children, that Patrick Tate's children, that never really got to spend a lot of time with him in his life and all that, and only got to listen to all the jargon that goes on social media with this true crime circus. I believe now they've been watching me for quite some time, and it was plain and obvious last night that I hold, the great Uncle Yummy in high regard. But anyway, not about me. Look, I missed that last night. Now, what's become apparent to me out here, right? I point to Michael McCann, right, who lost his father in jail, Squeaky, right? He's adopted nephew of mine from day dot, from the day this journey began. He's been with me. His dad died, Squeaky, from natural causes, but the treatment of him wasn't really humane, right? So we didn't get a lot of time to spend with his dad. He has never recovered from it. We spoke to Jamie Croxton, right, who lost the great Del Croxton, one of those that I held in high regard throughout my life in institutions, right? He has never ever been able to recover from the loss and the troubled and all the talk about his dad surrounding his death from this bit and that bit, because believe you me, a lot of these children, from fathers and mums and aunties and uncles that I met, watch social media and watch every single comment, and this is what I'm going to get to now. So listen, Leecroke, right? Another adopted nephew of mine from day one, who lost his father, Dave Croke, in sad circumstances in the category A's of Whitemore. Got family to Wayne Oren, other people that have been left with unanswered questions about their loved ones and their parents and their dads and that kind of stuff. And we'll look at social media to find some kind of answers. And it doesn't help their cause if people are going to be portrayed in the wrong light. Now, Patrick Tate, look, some might not going to like what I'm going to say, right? I don't really care. The one thing that I know, and I know many people in the category A's and B's and C's that ever met Patrick Tate, right? He is a household name before the rest of them surrounded in Essex and Basildon, etc. Patrick Tate is probably one of the biggest names to ever come out of that area in the prison system, right? Respected by, you know why I know? Because the robbers, the killers, so-called, that I used to move with, the bad men that I used to move with from the ghettos in Brixton Junction, North London, Manchester, Liverpool, all around the country, Patrick Tate had the same thing in common as me. So in the 90s, Basildon and all that wasn't really on the map in prison, to be honest. It wasn't. They weren't held as hierarchy criminals. Some big names came out of that, without a doubt. But I'll shed light on what I mean by. But Patrick Tate, just to put this bit bluntly, my mate H from way back in the day, he was really close to Patrick Tate, and he was a living bad, but a cool geezer, but could back anything, right? Patrick Tate used to walk with him. And many of those surrounding that you talk about down in Essex, they never mix with the ghetto kind of guys and all that. Patrick Tate was at home mixing with anybody. You've got to get this right, and you've got to get it straight. And Uncle Yummy says today, I'll tell you straight up and down here, I said you might not want to like what I'm going to say. I'm not going to get too passionate now. But if Patrick Tate's not in the Range Rover that night, I don't think Rettington holds the same significance that it does today without Patrick Tate dying. Not belittling Craig Roth and their families and Tony Tuckers and all that, but it wasn't known in the criminal fraternity, the hierarchy of the category A's. Patrick Tate was proven and tested in the biggest league of all. Nothing really reached Patrick Tate in those places. He was one of the most loved men that ever existed. Let's get the story straight. Patrick Murray, you know what I'm on about, man. I always said he wasn't the hardest. I put him as a bigger version to me. Charismatic, cheeky chappy, loved by most, hated by some, but respected by all. And could always find a way through things. And could look after himself. Those are the facts. Yeah? And I stand by. I'm not going to change my mind no more. So all you lot record what I'm saying out here today. Yeah, I know that there's been the books and stories and the films. You lot do what you got to do. Yeah, remember there's children watching. They haven't got their fathers and mothers and that no more. They have to listen to all the jargon that goes on and their fathers and that being portrayed in a light where some of you didn't even really know them. You can't know a man if you only met them 2 or 3 times fleetingly passing through a club out there now and, you know, acting all like that and mad and all that. In jail, you see a man at his strongest, at his weakest, when he's vulnerable. There's always chinks in some of the great names, so to speak. Their armour on certain days. Don't think they do. Everybody skates through as some great big bad men without showing signs of weakness on certain days. That's the way the human behaviour and mechanisms work, I'm afraid. You've got to understand that. I saw some great names flinch for a minute and I thought, wow. So they are human after all. All right, I'll move for them on that day. Shh. Listen to what Uncle Yami's telling you today. Without Patrick Tate, it wouldn't have been bigger than what it is now. The thing that I stand by, sorry, I was just going to say that, is that I conclude, and I won't go back on this, that they all got it round the wrong way. There was no contract, right? I don't care. I've been at it 4 years now. I knew what I knew from prison. I didn't have it all buttoned out, right? With my headspace in the 4 years I've been out, I come to the conclusion, and I will not backtrack on this. You hold it against me now, you lot, you spies out there. I'm telling you that it was them getting robbed that night. It wasn't the other way round. It wasn't a contract killing. Listen to what I'm saying to you. It doesn't mean I'm right, of course. I'm not a detective. I'm not a forensic scientist. I wasn't there, yeah? But I'm telling you, my belief, right? And I don't want to upset the families and that, especially Patrick Tate's, you know what I mean? But I will give them my honest opinion of certain things, is that I believe that they brought Patrick Tate that night as a go-between, between a drug deal, that they had the drugs. That's what I believe, right? You lot stand by what you say. You lot are all out there saying what you say. I'm telling you what I believe, right? And I believe that certain men, right, over the years, me included, yeah, loads of bad men that I ever met, right, that are badder men, not to belittle Tucker and Rolf, of course, but hardcore robbers, that when they're on the streets, they're looking, yeah, what, a couple of kilos here, there, I'm going to juke him down. They're not really rated like that. That's why I believe they would have brought Patrick Tate, because Patrick Tate's name holds a little bit of weight. That he comes in and says, right, Pat, we'll stand in the middle of that. You come. There's no way. Patrick Tate ain't doing nothing for none of them unless he's getting something out of it. Patrick Tate's a badder man for most of them, man. There, he was, but obviously a nice man. This is what I tried to put across. I'm telling you, I know a lot of you are going to agree with me that Patrick Tate, you needed Patrick for that bit of it. Yeah, and Patrick's going to say, well, send it for me, all right. But that's the way the game went. That was the life that he led. I've seen some heartfelt things in the last couple of days, and I'm telling you that. I'm not going to babble on, right? But I'm telling you, I'm standing by this, and I will never change my mind. It wasn't a contract killing. No, it wasn't. I believe that it was a robbery, and it was the other way around. And Patrick Tate was in the wrong place at the wrong time through other people, all right? So, and you lot, a final message for this one. When you're commenting, when you're looking at things, when people say they like this and like that, but they never really saw enough of them to be passing judgment. Yeah, you didn't really know them. I've been out 4 years and I'm looking at people and I think, yeah, they were like this and that, but I don't really know them, do I? In prison, you get to know people more deeply. Yeah, when they're at their most, you know, they're not playing no part in outside life, and they're at their most weakest, but they stand up strong. Yeah, and they're major figures in those prisons. But always remember this, some of you lot, there is those children that have lost their fathers watching everything that goes on, and after all, they haven't done anything to anyone.